Alright, so welcome to the first partially engaged podcast. Um,
Mhm.
so I'm your host, Duke, and along with me, I have you guys can introduce yourselves.
Adrian.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, man!
You can
Shake my
say your
hand.
name. You guys can
Good
say
start.
your name.
I so I started this thing because right now most of us are in quarantine and we're really bored, and during the middle of the day, a lot of times, at least in the middle of the day for me, I'm just really bored all the times because I'm mostly busy with stuff like at night and stuff. So I was like, what am I gonna do to fill the void? Let's start a fucking podcast in the server. Why not? Um, so here we are, and so the goal of this is kind of just to talk about things, talk about current events, talk about just interesting topics, and get different viewpoints of different people in the server and stuff like that. We'll have different people every week in the call and sharing their opinions and stuff. So, um, yeah. So let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, since we do have Yoshi here, is I wanted to ask. So like, for running a server and all of that, what do you, if you had to like name like a couple top things that are like most important to run a server and like make it successful, what would it be?
So what I think when it comes to like a successful server is more so it's one is activity. It's like so for most owners, right? Most servers, normally you just see the owner and then that's it. You don't really see them interact with anyone. Whereas I'm
Mm.
trying to change that where I try to be a good example for everyone. So if I'm active, I can't expect my staff to be active if I'm not active, right?
Mhm.
Which leads into the second thing, which would be having a good staff team. I would contribute the success of this server to my staff members. Like without them, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Mhm.
That includes all the past staff and current staff.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I mean
And,
like, okay. So you have more to say?
and I mean, you can continue on.
So I mean like, okay. So how like what goes into, what do you think is personally like the thing you like, the problem you face most?
Well, so basically, I guess it's a problem would be, guess, so every server has to have progression. If you're not changing, then you're you're only gonna get behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, let's say old members, sometimes they feel like, oh, there's too much change. It's not how it used to be, so they leave, which is it's a pro and con in itself. But I guess general interest in the server
Mhm.
changes over time. Sometimes they feel like they feel, since it's a large server, some people get overwhelmed in, let's say, main chat, right? Like chats go by too fast,
Yeah.
and it's hard to do anything about it.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, I also feel like there are times where it's like the opposite, where there's like it'll be parts of the day or something where not that many people are on, and someone will join, be like instantly just like chat dead, and they did, and that's it.
But I don't know. There's definitely both parties of like people like wanting change and wanting it to stay the same. You know, you can't like
Well, there's nostalgia,
appease that. Yeah.
and I'm definitely someone who's done that, where it's like, oh, the server used to be, like people a lot of times
Definitely.
just focus on like the past and things like
Well, the
that.
server's gonna change with more people that comes in, and
For
there's
sure.
different attitudes and different type of people that come in all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, no matter how they want things to change or things to stay the same, they should contribute and actually change with the server, which would be more beneficial to anybody.
That's fair. I mean, uh, I don't know. I think change is good, but there is definitely like that nostalgia factor that people have. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Definitely.
change is definitely a big thing. I mean, how do you think? How explain like the growth of this server, Yoshi? Like kind of like how did it grow fast from the beginning, or what happened?
so I joined. So I'm not the original creator of the server. That was
Mm-hmm.
Kathy. And I joined in December 2018. There was about 250 members at that time.
Mhm.
So I mean, so once I became an owner, I had to set up a plan on the progression and how to grow the server. And generally, I guess it grew pretty fast until it got stagnant at one point. But it was about like 500 members every month or so.
Okay.
which isn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But then we started, so it grew fast, and then eventually we had to slow it down because when you go too fast, you can't really have quality members per se.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have, like, let's say you have 100,000 people on your server, but only like 1% of them talk. It's kind of, so we rather have a smaller server and have quality members than a bigger server with no one talking.
For sure. I mean, there are tons of when I'm really bored. Every once in a while, I'll join like one of those giant servers that has like 70K members.
Like
Whatever.
edgy and
Yeah,
all
like
those.
and like you'll see like a bunch of the chats are active and stuff, but usually it's just stuff like ear rape or people trolling hard.
Oh,
Because like
definitely.
even though there's moderators, it's hard to moderate something that large.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I definitely think the smaller size does attribute to like the success of it and why like the server has been going on this long and not really fallen off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get your opinion. Do you guys notice the change in it? Like, do you guys notice like over time things changing or?
In
like-
terms of what?
I mean,
remember?
like
No,
do
I've
you
seen
guys?
it change.
Yeah.
Since the
Okay.
past 6 months that I've been here, from the beginning, I've seen it change.
Can you elaborate?
Probably, as in like more people talking, or like the subjects that have been changed, or like that have gone to main chat, or the people that come and go. You know, there's people who've been very active in the beginning and then have faded off, and that have come back and stuff like that.
For sure.
It also has to do with the dynamic of the server. So let's say they see people they enjoy talking to, they'll come in and talk, and they'll leave and come back. You know, how do I explain it? It's a good change because a lot more people are talking. Because I remember where chat has been like where nobody was really talking, and then we'll have people who bring chat back alive and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought this was a troll server when I first joined.
What?
Oh,
I
no,
thought
like
it was.
honestly, I thought it was when I joined. Everyone was just spamming creeper all man.
Oh, that was my first warn. That was my first warn. I think was
that was
putting
my first warn as well. One
Yeah,
of my first warns was
jeez.
please stop.
that meme.
Please stop us
God,
saying
I'm so
creeper all
glad that
man.
meme died though. Oh my gosh.
Good
That
God.
was so bad. There are some good memes. There's some really bad ones. Yeah, I mean, so I feel like I have a kind of a unique view on like the servers, like the dynamicy of the server and stuff like that. Just because, I first joined the server in July. I was part of another server before, and I met Yoshi through that, and I got introduced to him, and he invited me to this server, and it was much different there. I feel like it's just like the dynamic is a little bit different. There were it was the summertime, so there were a lot of activity and all that stuff, and there were a lot of people joining every day and all that. And then I kind of around beginning of September, I stopped being active just because school really caught up with me, and I was starting college, so I was like, okay, I wasn't active anymore. And then I went on my winter break, and I kind of started being active again in the server. And so like when I came back from being inactive, it was like a huge change. And you see like maybe one or two people that were moderators when I left or stopped being active, and the rest are all people I don't know. There wasn't as much like people joining and leaving stuff just because it wasn't the summer. And it was just a very different dynamic a lot of the times. There were a couple new channels and all that stuff, and I feel like meeting people was a bit different. I don't know, especially being someone who was like one of the old guys, I guess, that was like used to be active. It was kind of a different dynamic, and I liked it. I think it's really cool. I do think there was like different moderators call for like different moderation, obviously, and so I think that was really interesting to look at. And even even like seeing how it is now, it's very different from what it was a couple months ago and stuff. And it's the fact that it's constantly changing and stuff, I think is really healthy for it. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah. So the next thing is there any, or next thing I wanted to talk about for this is if I were someone new to the server, I first came in and I talked to some of the mods or whatever and stuff, and I realized that maybe I wanted to become a moderator. What should I be doing? What would I want to be doing to eventually become a moderator or even eventually partnership manager and stuff?
So, in terms of that, the server puts out a staff application when we feel like there's a need for more staff, right? And typically, what we look at in terms of potential people that we could bring onto the staff is, first off, it's going to be your activity in the server. Like, we can't be having someone that's completely new to the server be part of the staff. We'd probably want you to have more presence in the server, as in just be active in general. Have people know who you are, so we actually know how you talk and how you react to certain situations, or just in typical, or just in general, how you interact with members in general. And also, we also try to factor in now. Well, nowadays we're doing age. Before, typically, younger members had a kind of erratic way of moderating, so I think having an age limitation is a good thing.
Okay.
Which is what is the age limitation? What are you trying
I
to?
think 15 plus at the moment.
15 plus. Okay.
Before it was
And-
like in the age, but
What do you
15.
consider active? Like, what is active to you? Like, I mean, because someone coming every day doesn't necessarily mean they're active if they're only here for like 20 minutes. So if you were to say active, what would you say? Like, how long do you need to be coming in every day?
Well, in general, if they come in every day, that's, to me, that's already active enough. Because
Hmm.
like you could be like top member for a month, right? Having like 10,000 messages for just that 1 month. You become staff and you're gone. I prefer consistency over you
Yeah.
just being active for like a month, right? Like if you're here only for quarantine, then
So like me.
it's a little bit, yeah. Yeah, so I'd rather have consistency over the months in a staff member than someone that's just there, like in big spurts. And be like, oh, I gotta go study for exams for the next half a year. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So
For me, being active is if I see you constantly in main chat, even if you're in for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, like, and people actually like notice you and stuff like that. If I see you just activity is very different. I don't want somebody to be very active in the spam chat when I'm not even looking there.
Oh my gosh! Don't even
I
get me
wanna
started
be-
on the spam chat.
I like let's say I'd rather have someone introduce themselves in main chat and get to know everybody in main chat, you know, and someone who's able to like carry a conversation.
Well, what I think is really interesting is there's very different communities between the text chat and the voice chat in the server. Like
Definitely.
I was definitely for a long time like only a voice chat person. Like I never really used text chat at all because I like voice chatting more if I'm being honest.
yeah.
That's not for everyone though, and so like I feel like if I was the same way I was but like when I first joined where I was only voice chat and stuff, there's so many people that I talk to now that I would never talk to. 100% would never talk to because they only talk in text chat. Even though they're extremely active, they just only use voice chat.
Exactly.
So now that I've like started using text chat more and stuff like that, like I was one of the lower level. I wasn't even. I was awesome squad for like 6 months, but yeah. So
Get
like,
caught up to Duke in like half a month.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Just I'm the same way. I'm still like that. I still rarely like go into text chat.
yeah.
I
I
say
mean,
K sometimes.
I just hit the fam, so you know we're climbing. But so no, I think it's really cool for members to like if they want to be active members and be moderators. I know I'm not someone who determines who's mod, but I think something that's really good in a moderator is someone who like can be active in both voice and text. I think that's something really cool.
I would just say anybody who wants to be, take your shot, because you never know. Right? If you're above the age of 15 and you are active, try it. Try it. And if you don't like being a moderator, you can always like leave.
like I did.
You did nothing, okay? Shush.
Just think about it like this: UA was United Airlines was a moderator, so I mean, you got shot. No, I'm
What's that
kidding.
Oh, yeah.
supposed
I'm
to
kidding.
mean?
I'm kidding. I'm
He was a
kidding.
good moderator.
No, I know. I'm just playing. He's a great guy. So I think we should move on to the next topic, which we're shifting gears a lot here. Is talk about the coronavirus, and so obviously we're all bored as fuck in quarantine right now, and all of us want quarantine to end, but realistically, quarantine is occurring for a reason. So, what do you guys think about? Oh, sorry, what?
I have a question. Is your malls opening up?
No,
No?
No.
I have some places here opening up.
Really,
The malls in Connecticut are opening up on May 20th.
really.
They're opening up hair
Really?
salons. They're opening up like restaurants and everything.
Well,
So,
what are
I don't
the
know, I
numbers?
feel about that.
Of course, there's strict regulations about it and everything. But like nail salons aren't open yet and stuff, and tattoo parlors, which sucks. But the malls are opening up, and some people are like, why, when quarantine is not going to end till the end of the end of June in Connecticut? So
Well, what are the numbers like there in Connecticut?
it's bad. I'll look it up. Give me a second.
I mean, for us, it's like we're completely on shutdown. Like there was in my town actually. Oh my gosh, there was a group of people got together and went to the downtown and protested.
Oh, same here.
None of them wearing
Same
face
here.
masks. None of them wore face masks.
Yeah.
I drove by because I was curious. None of them
Yeah,
had face masks
I
on
saw.
or anything. And I think I don't know. For me personally, like I understand. Obviously, it's really bad for our economy to be in this for any amount of time, but I think it's crazy that people would like risk that, especially in the area I live in. I live in the Bay Area of California, so
Imagine.
it's so imagine that. I know.
I know.
So it's
You'd
just
wanna live
so
there.
bad here. Like there's so many
Oh.
cases. In just my county, there's been about 80-something deaths.
No, have you guys
Wow.
heard about LA? What they plan on doing at the LA?
What?
They
Extended
they plan on still being under quarantine for a couple more months.
For 3 months, yeah,
Oh,
for 3
wow.
more
Yeah,
months.
3 more months.
So what were the numbers, Lele? Did you find them?
Yeah, so in Connecticut there's 36,000 confirmed and 3,000 deaths, but apparently it's been on a decrease, and only confirmed cases of 211 cases were confirmed
Okay.
on May 10th. So it's going in a decrease in Connecticut, but we also have people who come from New York and New Jersey. So it goes up and down.
So,
Great.
I mean, that's not, I mean, yeah, those are, I guess.
Well, Connecticut is a small state
Yeah.
compared to most.
Well, in just my
But-
county, there's about 8,000 cases, I believe.
Oof.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
New Haven County, there's 8,030,
I don't think there's
330 some
nearly
cases.
that much in my county.
alright, here, I can look and find the number for my county, but, I mean, I don't know, I think they need to start opening stuff up in rural areas first, and just slowly spread it on a need basis.
But even if they open up in the rural areas, people are going to go there because it's open.
Yes, in my
Yeah.
county it's actually pretty low. Our county's been pretty good on it. We only have 373 in our county.
The thing is, Connecticut was never in a complete shutdown. People were able were able to go out and everything.
Yeah.
It's not like they kept it under locks either. So,
For us, it was lockdown, but it was kind of lenient. Where if cops saw you out and roaming around and stuff, they'd kind of be like, "Hey, you should go back home." But there was no punishment. It was just like you guys should head
no,
home.
the cops didn't even stop us.
Yeah, they
if
would
we went
stop
out.
us. But
No.
it was
Oh.
it's wild. I don't know how it's such a hard thing because it's based on how people act 100%. Like if people follow the rules and all of that, they can 100% open up rural areas, get the economy slowly to start moving again, and eventually lead to the bigger cities opening up and stuff. But people don't listen. Is the thing.
Yeah, they're supposed to be the vaccine's fast tracked, right? So that should be coming out in.
What was that? Sorry.
There's a vaccine that's being fast tracked for Corona, right?
They skipped animal testing, I believe.
Yeah.
They went straight to human
So
testing.
it should be out in I don't like to give any hopes up, but like I'd say a couple months, right? We've already been on. I'd say like 4 or 5 months. I could see it being out.
Yeah.
Their set goal was like 6 months, right? It's already been 2. So
I mean, I just know because for personally for me, my parents own a business, and so they're freaking out. They're trying to scrap together like loans and stuff like that, ways to keep the business going, because if it goes on much longer, it's gonna be really hard. So I mean, Yoshi, do you have anything to add for that?
Not at the moment, no.
I mean, because you work from home, right?
I do.
Yeah, so it wouldn't affect you that much in that way, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think, I don't know. I mean, I know the rest of the world, I mean, there's only a certain, like, America has the most cases that's reported being the key word.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I definitely think China has more cases.
No, or like India at one point only had like 4 confirmed cases.
There's,
Like,
see, that's so hard to believe just because how densely
Yeah.
packed they are.
It's just because they weren't reporting.
I
That's
don't
why.
know. We really don't know. It's crazy. And then I always think it's funny, because when people get their stuff, quality of life taken away a little bit, like people can't go out right now. They start coming up with conspiracies that it's the government. I always think that's crazy. All the conspiracies around it and stuff. Like, have you guys heard the conspiracies about people saying that it was like created by the government or whatever to
Yeah, but
like
for like biowarfare. Yeah,
or like population control,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
crazy like that. I don't know. I think it's
That's-
insane. But next thing I want to like bring up was, what do you guys think about, like, have you guys heard about the disappearance of like Kim Jong Un? How he like disappeared for like a month, appeared
there's
again,
this
and now he's disappeared
There's a
again.
surgery rumor, right, that he died.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of
Oh,
people
yeah.
thinking he's
Surgery,
dying.
which turns out to be false. And then
That-
I was going through it and I saw that like May 2nd. The only recent news was like May 2nd he reappeared. So like the rumors are false, but I haven't seen like any other activity since then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did you guys hear about like his sister would take over if he did die?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
And she's like way more intense or whatever than he is, or something along those lines. Because the thing with Kim Jong Un is he does, like, if you like read up on him and stuff, he actually likes a lot of American culture. Like, he's a fan. Like, that's why he's friends with like Dennis Rodman and stuff like that. But his sister's not that way at all. So I feel like there'd be a lot more tension between the countries, possibly, if he died.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
You
already
guys,
pretty bad though.
you guys have anything to add about that?
Not really. Yeah, but there's been some recent articles I was kind of briefly overviewing about him just disappearing.
Alright, so the next thing we can move on to is so we have 3 people here that actually play League of Legends a good amount right now, which is me, Yoshi, and Lele. And Adrian you've never played League of Legends, right?
No, not. I downloaded and played that one thing with you. What's it called?
Yeah, TFT. So you haven't played like
TFT,
normal League. So
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about like a little bit like what we think the strongest champions in that game is and stuff like that. And then kind of talk about like how the community seems from the outside and stuff. So,
Whatever Oppa plays is the strongest.
No.
bro, what do you play again? What have you been playing mostly?
He has a lot of freaking people.
Yeah, 'cause I don't play
Garen is his like strongest. No, Mundo or Garen.
Dude, those are
Um,
cheese champions. I don't think
Easy
they're that
champions.
strong.
What is this?
Not. I think those are champions. They're really
Alpha?
strong low elo, but the higher you,
Yeah.
they have the less outplayability, or they have a lot more outplayability the higher elo you get.
Yeah,
You're
I always
saying you're
play
low
champions
elo.
who are- I always play champions who are easy to play,
Yeah.
so I can focus on the
Macro.
macro plays.
Okay.
Yeah, like the maps and all that,
Would you-
objectives.
Would you ask Adrian?
He has to carry all the time.
I was just saying. What's your guys' elo? What is it?
The highest account I've ever had was Diamond 4.
Hmm.
And that was just
I
playing
just started playing, so.
Mm.
Yoshi.
I play in gold.
So and the only way I got there was was playing one champion in one role, and that was Shaco Jungle. So I'm like, compared to like Shaco, every other champion I play is so much worse, just because I never played them for a long time. Because I was playing League a ton, my first semester of college, because like whenever I wasn't busy, I was playing League pretty much, learning Shaco Jungle. And so for strongest characters, honestly, I think Cassiopeia is stupid. Absolutely. Broken champion. 100%.
Hella broken. Yeah, I agree.
I don't think there should be any champion that makes it so you can't flash in an area. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how strong she is. And then she can beat melee champions 1v1 in melee range. And she's ranged. I think it's crazy that she's in the game. I don't know. But I don't know. Do you guys have any, like Lele, Yoshi? Do you guys have any champions you think might be the stronger?
I think Fizz is just toxic, and Teemo is toxic. I can't.
Well, most of Teemo's toxicity comes from how he looks. Honestly, his entire kit's made to just piss people off.
No, it's just toxic in general.
No, dude. Anytime.
Fizz too.
Dude, anytime.
Well, I play mostly mid, that's why. But
Okay.
I'm like.
I mean, anytime I die to a fucking Teemo in the B skin, I want to punch a hole through my monitor, honestly. I hate that B skin so much.
I think the only champion I don't want to play against is Lee Sin, because he's retarded. Like I just can't.
Lee Sin?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like you don't see him played unless that person's good at him, and
That's fair. I mean,
a good Lee Sin Vex games.
the thing is, a bad Lee Sin is terrible. Like, you just clap them so hard. But if anyone knows how to play Lee Sin at all, it's so hard to kill. It's so hard to outplay. I mean, it's if they know any of the combos, or they just have the ability to land Qs okay, at least decently, they're so hard to beat. And I mean, even like playing against them as Shaco, when I'd get placed against a Lee Sin, I'd literally, for almost the entirety of a game, try to avoid him. The only time I would go for a kill on him is level 2. I'd invade his jungle and try to steal his blue buff, because I can beat him in the very beginning. But past level 2, you just never beat him, unless you outplay him really, really hard. So yeah, I think that's a good choice. I mean, next up, like, thing I want to talk about is the community. So League is infamous for its toxic and terrible and evil community.
100%.
Yeah, it's very known for that. I mean, what do you know about that, Adrian? Look from the outside.
Oh no, yeah, that's all I hear about, and that's kind of what I kind of thought of it.
Well, I mean,
It's like super toxic.
like, it's comparable to like the CS:GO community and stuff like that, where they're both really toxic and crazy communities.
Well, okay, so the difference is for CS:GO, right? They have the ability to chat and voice chat,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what makes it toxic.
Yeah.
Whereas League, it's just more so if you're teamed up with 4 other people on your team, right? And so the typical game in League lasts for about half an hour. That means you're spending half an hour with a really toxic person, and you can't really lead that game, right?
That's
But
fair.
CS:GO, it's like 10-minute games, maybe less.
Well,
So
I
League
mean,
is just
ranked
known
is
to be
long.
a long
Ranked is
game.
long.
Ranked CS:GO
Isn't
games go
ranked
for about
CS:GO long?
Yeah.
ranked CS:GO
Yeah,
goes
like-
for about 30 minutes.
Average of like 16 wins.
Ranked is like 30
Okay.
minutes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I see what you mean. I mean,
Almost
would you?
gets like 30.
Yeah, I mean, would you want a voice chat to be added to League?
Well, they have
Yes.
one just for your pre-made teams.
Well, yeah, no.
I
mean,
want one made.
But no, I
but-
don't think it should ever be added.
No? Not for your
No.
teammates that you're playing with?
No.
I would
I
want to
don't
add
see
them.
why not.
CS:GO,
I'd
playing
want it.
CS:GO, I would not want it.
Why wouldn't you want it? Explain.
Because like CS:GO, it's like, as I said, except now it's gonna be half an hour of just someone
I mean, you can
who's-
mute
who's
people
on you.
and stuff. I mean, you have the ability to mute people and all of that.
Because League is toxic, I get it, where Opa's trying to get with, but sometimes when you're playing by yourself and you get teamed up with other people, it's sometimes better to be vocalized. But
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I'd really want to voice chat is because
So you
like
could scream at them.
no, I'm actually I feel like I don't scream that much in voice, but I'm toxic in other ways, and I'll get to that.
You'll get to it.
I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about
I'm the
that.
same way though.
Yeah. By the
Kinda
way, guys,
toxic.
if for people that have, are listening to this that have never played League with me, which is almost all of you, don't play League with me. Just don't.
Yeah.
I'm working
No.
I'm working on being reformed, but I'm a terrible person to play League with, unless like
If you-
unless we're playing ranked. It's weird. I'm unusually way nicer when I play ranked, but if we're playing like norms and stuff, I'm like we'll get to it. I'm a jackass. But the only reason I'd want a voice chat is because when I'm like in ranked, when I'm saying stuff like when I see someone teleport or flash, you need to like type in the time that it's gonna be back up, because flash has a 5-minute cooldown and teleport has a 6-minute cooldown. So you want to type in the times that they do that, or you want to type in where their like if you're playing jungle, you need to type in where their jungler is, or if you're in any role and you see their jungler, you need to type it in. And so like just being able to call that out instead of like having to stop where I'm moving or find a time where I'm not doing something actively in the game to type, I feel like that'd be a lot more just convenient for me.
I'm sure, or just calling out rotations in general, right? I'm sure it would be a lot more helpful rather than
Yeah, because
just typing.
in ranked, text chat is not as toxic as, or it's usually not as toxic in my opinion, just because people are calling stuff out more than just getting angry at others.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you, Yoshi? I mean, I feel like people still call stuff out in gold and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, in order to climb, you need to be able to. In order to climb the elo, you gotta be effective at calling out everything,
Mm-hmm.
from objectives to skills, cooldowns.
I would say off purely like being good mechanically and stuff, you can get to about plat max. I think if you're amazing mechanically, you can get to plat maximum.
Depends what characters you put.
Well, of course, but I'm saying like if you're
Or-
amazing mechanically, like just your skill playing the game, playing a character, you can get to platinum. But I think you can't get past there without learning macro and learning the game and learning what things affect winning and losing.
You want to start learning with Oppa Yoshi, because he's really good at it. Just be able to take criticism.
I mean, another big thing for starting to learn is start on a super easy champion. Not even just like
That I didn't do.
yeah, no, like if you start, for example, I've had like a couple of my friends like when they went to start learning, and like because out of my group of friends I play with when I play ranked or stuff like that, I was the only jungler. My friends usually play mid lane or ADC, and so when someone would want to learn jungle, my group of friends that aren't in the server that I usually play League with, like my IRL friends, I would always have them either learn Nunu, Amumu, or Warwick. Those three. Right now, I say Warwick, just because Warwick is so strong for how easy he is. So unbelievably strong that champion is. So like that's what I'd tell people to like start learning with, to be honest. But yeah, to the community. So I am a very toxic player. Like I feel like my way of toxicity is it's not as much like screaming. I feel like I don't. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like I don't scream that much, but I feel like I'm very, very naggy. Like if you mess up at anything and you don't play the exact way like I think you should play, I consistently remind you of that. And that's where a lot of my toxicity stems from. I feel like. Like I might.
Good.
What do you think? No, explain.
There's more
seriously.
to it.
Well,
There's more to it.
Give it your sides. Give it your sides. 100%.
So you like to give out criticism, but you can't take it.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can't take criticism.
Yeah, that's fair. When I play. Yeah.
And then generally, if someone's backed up or someone is, so you like to see you like to go towards what you going towards, and you can't see what's other people around you doing, type of thing. You're like, oh, why didn't you do this when they were doing something else?
Yeah.
It's just that.
Well, so I'm a very like in games I play, I'm the same way. I'm a very like meta person where it's like I like playing what is doing stuff the way that is the easiest way to win. Not necessarily even though it's normals and like it's you can joke around or whatever. I like playing the way to win, and I need to like take that mindset out. 100%, I agree. Because so how I see it is like in like high plat and diamond, people just play differently. 100%. Like the entire playstyle is different. That's not even really high elo league at all. High elo is like high diamond and stuff, but like that's like relatively good elo, and like people just play completely differently, and people like, so I'm used to like that, I guess, when I'm playing my main account, and so like, and by the way, my main account is called Don't Touch My PP, in case you're wondering.
Oh.
My highest account.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's quality, but it's so I see things and like I'll be like, oh, and you messed up, and unless I'll be honest, you were completely right about I don't take criticism well, 100%. You're completely right. Like the way I do it is like, when I'm in a game and I'm a little bit frustrated and stuff, because even though it's a norms game, I get frustrated. I'll if the person's not like a higher elo than my highest thing or whatever, I'm usually just like, you don't know what you're talking about, which is a terrible way to think. Terrible way to think. I know it's a terrible way to think. That's just how I am about it, and so it's like, I do think at times, like people will take things I say too seriously, but most of the time it is me, 100%. And so like unless I'm 100% sure I just made a mistake, I won't admit that I made the mistake. I 100% agree. Unless like it's blatantly obvious, like I do something stupid, that I won't admit it. So like right now I'm trying to work on like just not taking it so seriously when I'm playing a normal game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, your thoughts?
That sounds.
Like, I mean, Yoshi's probably played with me the most here.
Yeah, I mean, so generally you don't take criticism well, but I know that you're slowly trying to change it, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as long as you keep it up, you should be fine.
Yeah. Also, a really bad thing I do a lot is I'm a big it's winnable guy. I'm big on, even if a game is going downhill, if I see one way the game could be winnable, and like if I see one way, even though it's extremely hard for that way to occur, for that path to happen, I'll want to stay in the game and I won't want to surrender. I'll 100% be like, it's winnable. Like if I see, oh, if I get a double kill here, my champion scales hard, and I'm able to possibly, if you stay on me for the entire of the game, and we rotate drag early, blah, 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 then it's winnable. But the chances of that happening are extremely low. So to a certain point, it's better to just leave the game. It's not worth it. So that's something I also have to work on. Like, and I feel like a lot of people have to work on too, is knowing when a game's just pretty much over. I mean, I don't know, but that's how I see it as, at least. Okay. Any more comments on that, or should we move to the next topic?
Next topic. The next topic.
All right. So the next topic I wanted to bring up, and Lele is the person on the outside here, viewing in, is life in California, and because
Oh God.
3 of us here live in California, and so
Yeah.
there's a big stigma on California is the worst state in the United States or whatever. People on the outside say, and like, I mean, Lele,
I don't think it's the worst.
how do people from outside California see
Everybody in Connecticut just think you guys are hippies.
What?
So, no.
How?
Don't wear shoes. Go to the beach all the time.
Wait,
don't
actually?
go to work. Yeah, actually.
That's only San Diego.
People in Connecticut.
That's like,
It doesn't help that we have teachers like that in Connecticut, though. So
Really?
people who are from California who come to Connecticut to teach at Yale or Harvard or wherever in any of the colleges here in Connecticut, they don't wear shoes when they go to class. Their hairs are long. They're like, oh yes, I'm from California. They have a very hippie vibe to them. They dress
What?
very, yeah. And then one thing is you guys can't handle cold well.
Okay. I
I agree with that.
I think
Handle what?
so.
Cold,
Can't handle
like the freezing
cold,
temperatures.
So
'Cause
I
I can go outside in a short sleeve shirt and in shorts in literally 30-degree weather outside and be fine.
That's no go for me. I'm gonna have to pull out a sweater.
in the Bay Area, it doesn't snow. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, here's
Yeah.
so it's interesting. So I used to disagree with that. If we went back to like this time last year, I would disagree with you. I'd be like, the Bay gets cold. The Bay can get cold. It could get to high 20s and
40s.
stuff. No, it gets high 20s in my town in the winter and
Really?
stuff. Every
Oh,
once
okay.
in a while, yeah.
Check
And
Not
like,
here.
and like I used to think that was cold. That is not cold. I've now learned because going to college in Western Pennsylvania has taught me very different. That That is not cold. When it gets to the negatives is when it starts getting cold. It's like it's crazy. I've never had it where my face physically hurts from being outside in the cold. It's crazy. How like we take our weather for granted here, 100%.
Oh no, definitely.
Facts.
Yeah.
I used to live in Oregon and I went to a couple areas where it would just snow tons, and it'd get down to like, it'd get down to like low 10. Like low 10s are just low ones, you know?
It
And,
gets down to like -15, -10.
Really?
And normally that's normal here.
Yeah.
We've had it where I think the past year in the winter, we've had it gone down to -30 where people's pipes were starting to burst. But that still wasn't that cold for us. It's like it's like people in Canada can relate. I don't know. It's just it gets cold to the point where
Yeah.
I could wear a sweater and be like it's cold, but like
Yeah.
I don't. I heard in Cali just doesn't get cold at all,
Yeah,
and when it does, people cry.
Northern Cali does get very cold. There's
Yeah.
a lot of snow in the mountains and stuff. It does get very cold.
The city I live in, the county I live in, it's like known just to actually have like really really good weather. I mean, since I've lived here in this county, so like 6 years, it's only the lowest it's gone is like maybe mid 30s, like 36.
Yeah, that's
So
cold. That's cold over here too.
Yeah, but most of the time the coldest it'll get during winter is like mid 40s. Right. So we usually have like pretty good weather. So yeah, going from like mid 40s to somewhere where it's like ones or maybe even negatives, yeah, it's big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then like, so moving to Pennsylvania at least, everyone's just slower paced. Like when you go by, like I feel like in the Bay Area especially, there's like kind of a hustle most of the time. Or like if you go to a store and stuff, like people are usually fast paced. There's a lot of people in the store. You just get your stuff, get in, get out, and go. And the cashiers are fast, and people are just faster. But like outside, like in Pennsylvania and stuff, they'd be very slow, taking the time. It's like I feel like I'm not even that fast paced of a person, but it was just seems slow for me too. I don't know if that's just me,
Yeah.
but
Well, I believe it's because of like we got used to like the traffic, right? California, where
Oh
you're
my
spending so much time
gosh.
on the road that you just don't want to spend so much time in, say, a store. You just want to go home as soon as you can.
yeah. I mean, oh my god, Bay Area traffic.
Traffic sucks.
It's terrible. It's so lately. How's traffic in Connecticut?
It's horrible.
Really?
Well, I can't say it's California bad because I've never been to California. But if you know New York traffic, it's not as bad as New York traffic. It does get bad, but not as bad as New York.
I think some areas of California are as bad as New York, like LA.
Oh, LA.
Um,
LA. Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard California's traffic is worse than New York traffic.
I think
That's also what I heard.
I think New York's traffic is worse consistently, but I think California traffic gets worse at rush hour.
Go.
Because
Oh, yeah,
we'll have
definitely.
like
5 o'clock.
Makes
Good
sense.
luck.
like 580 rush hour, like the highway by where I live and stuff. Like 580 is the main highway that takes you to all the towns that I would usually go to for things and stuff. And it's like a pretty big highway. Like it's like 6 lanes each side or whatever, or even more some parts. Like it's a big highway. And you'll see it just not moving. Bumper to bumper. Like nobody's moving. And it's just crazy to see that many cars just not moving for that long.
I've known a couple people who think they have it bad in terms of traffic. Like they just
Yeah.
think it's like god awful, and then they'll come over to Bay Area and they're just like, why? Like it's
Why?
horrible. Why is this a thing?
Yeah, I just, yeah, no, it's definitely something, and like, Western Pennsylvania is like the less populated part of PA, and like there's 2-lane highways with no traffic, like you never have traffic, and that just boggled my mind, seeing that. Like, how could somewhere just not have any traffic? It's just insane to me.
Well, I guess also because in California everyone drives.
Yeah,
We don't really take public transportation that much.
I mean, there's
In
bars.
New York, everybody doesn't drive. They normally walk or take public transportation.
Yeah, and walking is like actually very. Yeah, walking are just.
The only people who don't really drive that much
Train.
are people in San Francisco.
Yeah, because they have BART. People that live in
Yeah.
like the suburbs near San Francisco and stuff, they can just take BART and go to their jobs.
What do y'all think about San Francisco?
Oh, I hate that city.
because of the opinion.
I hate it.
I hate it so much.
The thing is I kind of low key hate it too, but like tourists love that
So here's
place.
the thing. I
man.
feel like the weather in San Francisco is so bad all the
It's so
time.
cold all
so
the time.
foggy. It's so foggy.
It's just
like,
because it always gets that like water effect or ocean effect weather and stuff, and it's so bad. Oh my
So
god.
cold.
Yeah, and
Oh my goodness, it's not cold there.
no. It's
it's
actually
cold for us.
unreasonably cold. It's unreasonably cold because you.
Cloudy. It's windy.
Well, the thing
And
is,
good luck driving there. Driving there's the hills.
well, the thing
Yeah,
is,
driving is good. Driving inside is bad.
Well,
Yes.
I'll be in like my t-shirt and shorts, okay, when I get on BART to go there, because like it's warm in my town and stuff. And then I'll get there. BART's like for people that don't know, it's like Bay Area rapid traffic, so it's like the subways in New York and stuff like that, except it's not underground. It's just a transportation system. So I'll take that to San Francisco, and I'll be freezing when I get there because it's just so much colder than the areas around it. And like it's so it's crazy how expensive that place is to live for how like
Oh, it's insane.
and there's
You're barely surviving with 100K salary.
100K. Yeah, no, 100K is not. I don't even think enough for San Francisco, honestly, unless you're living in a really bad area.
No, you'd be living in a horrible house. Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think, or what do you think, Yoshi? Since you do you live closest there? Maybe.
Wait, what? Can you repeat that?
I was trying to think if you live closer to it than me, but I'm not sure.
San Francisco?
Yeah.
I can get there within an hour.
Okay.
I'm 45 out.
Okay, I'm about 45 out too.
45 too. Me too.
Okay, so we're about the same. But yeah, like, and oh my god, I hate driving through there. I can't. I've only done it a couple times because it's just so bad driving in that area.
Dude, I used to go there all the time. Not of my will. It's because like my ex wanted to go there for Pokemon Go. I'm like, god damn
For
it.
Pokemon Go. Well, I guess San
I'm like-
Francisco. Okay, I see that. I can see that. Jeez.
Magikarps, man.
Magikarps. Oh, true. Yeah. God, back when Pokemon Go. I 100% think the whole summer
Oh
of
my God,
2016
Pokemon Go.
memes and all of those about like things being summer 16 was the best it's gonna get is because Pokemon Go. That's when Pokemon Go came out.
No, that's when everyone was actually going outside.
Yeah, because Pokemon
Like,
Go. It came out July
yeah.
7th, 2016.
2016.
And I remember I was out all the time with my friends and stuff. And like every once in a while, my friend would go with his family to like San Francisco and come back with a Gyarados, and I'd be so jealous.
Oh my god, yeah. I remember going to Santa Cruz when I was
Yeah.
playing Pokemon Go, and I got a Gyarados. That was so sick.
Yeah, freaking it was. My gosh, I downloaded a Sniper thing on my computer. I will admit, I cheated. I downloaded the Poke Sniper.
You're a Pokemon Go cheater?
Dude, I got
Oh
all the
my
different regional
God.
ones, all the ones that were only in different continents and stuff. Like Farfetch'd was only in Asia, I think, and Mr. Mime was only in Africa or something like that, and I got them, and I flexed on all my friends. I remember that. You just type in like the coordinates and stuff. It was sketch. It was like a really sketchy program. I probably got a lot of viruses on that computer from that. It was worth it though. I got that Dragonite, that 2900
there
Dragonite.
you go, dude.
It was
There you
freaking
go.
worth
No
it.
one could defeat you now. You set that in the gym and undefeatable.
Yeah, those websites were kind of scams. They just like you could pay to have like a higher catch rate or whatever. It was really weird. I don't know, but oh my gosh, that game was so freaking popular. It's crazy.
It was
Yeah.
Like, how much do you think you guys went out more for that game?
I went out a lot. Like I used to stay with some housemates back
Yeah,
at school, and I would not see them for like weeks, right? They say they got a new girlfriend.
yeah.
I-
But then
I'd go every day.
At 3 a.m. in the morning, we were both at the same park. And that park had like 300 people. We're like, hey, I haven't seen you in forever. I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
So I'm like, damn, okay.
Yeah, and then when they added like, I remember when they added like the co-op battles to get like stronger Pokemon and stuff, have a chance to get them. I remember I was like 15 when that came out, and there was some like 34-year-old dude like, sup, you trying to get this right now? And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get this Tyranitar. Fuck yeah, let's do this. It was like weird. Everyone was just so much nicer to each other.
Oh, facts.
It was crazy. Like, and then
Yeah,
I
there's
heard,
like total bonding experience with
Yeah.
random people just because everyone would like meet up at like the parks or whatever it
yeah.
is. You know?
Do you remember when did you? And then apparently someone like died from it though. Like someone got lost or something. Did you guys hear
Couple
about that?
people. There's a couple people just died from it, like
It's
going into
crazy.
like certain trespassing areas, and they end up like dying from stuff. Like yeah, crazy.
But I remember, so not always were people nicer. So I remember, you remember there's Team Mystic. Wait, by the way, what teams were you guys? Just say the color, because I don't remember all the names.
Ooh, I was blue.
Ew, disgusting.
I was blue.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
jeez.
Oh my God, the homie.
Lele, did you play?
Yes, I was
Blue
blue.
gang.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Team Instinct,
Oh,
yellow,
my favorite
yellow
color.
for the
Back
win,
off.
yellow for the win. What?
I knew you were a yellow boy. I knew it. I could
Shake
see it
my
a mile
head.
away.
No, but what was I gonna say? So I remember I was at the park, like in my downtown. There's like a park area where there's a theater near there and stuff, and it's a pretty nice little park. So there's
Yeah.
tons of people in it because there were like 3 Pokestops in this one park where you could sit in this one area and hit all 3 of them at once. And there was a gym there too. And so there were these 2 guys on the opposite ends, and one was on the red team, and one was on the blue team. And this guy made a joke about the blue team, and this other guy comes up with like 20 piercings in his face and tattoos, be like, "You talking shit about my team?" They almost legit broke out into a fist fight in the middle of this park over a fucking Pokemon Go team. Like, it was crazy. Like, I'm not over exaggerating this all. They were screaming at each other and started shoving each other, and a cop literally had to separate them. Like, and be like, "Hey,
That's
boys,
crazy,
calm
man.
down."
Man, always pros and cons. You know, everyone
Yeah.
goes out, and then there's always stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, and these were like
Yeah.
20-something-year-olds. These weren't even kids.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That's sad.
Just because they're 20-something doesn't mean they're mature.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, did you play
To
it much,
wrap it up
Lele?
to be good.
What's up?
Did you play it much?
I did when it came out. I used
Yeah.
to go to the beach a lot.
Okay.
So we have somewhere called the Milford Beach.
Okay.
And people would go there a lot. But other than that, after that,
It died out
Yeah.
pretty fast. There's some people that still play though. Those veterans that
oh yeah.
are crazy and still play somehow.
I know some people who fly to like Japan and stuff
Oh
for
my
it.
gosh. That's
You
crazy.
ever seen that one meme? It's like a picture of this dude who's playing Pokemon Go. He has like 20 like phones all attached
Oh,
to
yeah.
together, and he's like using it all. Oh, it's insane.
Oh yeah.
People
no.
would buy accounts.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. I should probably sell my account. I should do that.
But one more thing I want to bring up about like California and stuff that I've noticed, because now that I've lived away, is I've noticed the people outside of at least the area I live in, California, and this might be random, but just circumstantial, are more genuine. 100% the Bay people. Like, people are more genuinely nice. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. It's almost like.
I don't know about San Francisco, really. And San Francisco, I kind of met some
Well, the thing is,
lot
like, in my
very nice people.
I have like my friend group from back home, like where I am now, because quarantine, and I have a friend group from college right now, and we almost never have any drama in our college friend group, and you'd think we would have more because we live so close together now, and all of us, like, a lot of my friend group lives in the same hall, and so you'd think it'd be more, but we're just very upfront about things. Like, if there's any problems, you just talk about it, and then it'll be solved, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But in California, I feel like, at least in people my age or our age and stuff, there's like people just like are so fake nice and stuff like that, and then like they just hold things in and don't talk about like problems, and so they just become bigger problems.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I agree with you.
What about you, Yoshi? Do you have any experiences like that?
Well, yeah. So in terms of like fake nice, I guess I kind of do agree with that. I guess it affects all age groups, especially in California. I guess since we're surrounded by so many people all the time.
Yeah.
It's just what kind of happens naturally.
Do you think it's more that we're surrounded by so many people, or do you think there's like a stigma about California, like a way that just naturally by the environment people tend to want to be a certain way?
I think it's just more so just, as I said, like the hustle. Hustle makes like I think based on how your parents interact with you, they're always in a rush. So
That's
sometimes- Most
interesting.
of the time, kids don't get to interact with their parents as much.
I didn't even think
And
about it
also
that
we're-
way.
Also, we are also in the transition of like technology.
Yeah. Well,
Like when I was young, I had AOL and all that, right? So like it's like beginning of the transitional age where like computers, iPads, video
Yeah.
games,
And so
that's taking place instead of interaction. So they don't really know how to act. They don't really talk about feelings as much.
fair.
So that's why you see
Yeah, I
wear
mean,
masks.
a reason for that could be like California. I feel like is where technology starts, like where new technology starts. Because I feel like the West Coast has the like because of Silicon Valley and stuff like that. We have the most up to date technology and up to date things happening in that regard. But like for things like fashion or music, a lot of times stuff like that, it's usually like the East Coast and things
Yeah.
like that. I don't know. That's how my older brother described it to me because he lives in the East Coast and he's lived in both coasts before. And so that could be a reason for it too. Yeah, like online identity is so important. Like I think parents, like newer parents and stuff like that, should teach their kids like about interacting online and stuff too, because I think it's just as important nowadays.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
definitely.
Because I mean, when did you guys start being active online? Like,
Mm, like second grade.
bro, what were you
Really?
doing in second
Yeah.
grade?
I started talking to strangers like first, second grade
What
on
can you do in
AIM.
second grade?
Omegle on AIM. Oh my goodness.
Bro,
It's AIM chat rooms.
what's
Oh,
AIM? What is
no.
AIM? What?
AOL
AOL
Instant
chat,
No
dial-up.
way.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like
Dial-up.
it's like Discord servers, right? But it's
VHS.
chat rooms instead.
I started
Ah.
I started probably third grade because of Xbox Live.
Yeah. I started webcamming with people in elementary school.
Bro, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
scary.
people didn't. Because back then, internet predators were kind of not a thing,
Yeah.
and people will just let their kids to learn about technology on. And I've had I think in second grade, I did have like a computer access at home with internet. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like it was a difference.
Yeah. I mean, I think I mean, well, Adrian, would you start?
I started like third, fourth with like PlayStation 2, Xbox
Okay. I mean, I
360.
I feel like it's so important because my parents didn't know any of the people are, so I feel very lucky that I never like got into any sketchy situations really, but I feel like it could have easily happened, and like my parents didn't know who I was talking to online or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because
I started with AIM. Just talk to random people on AIM
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Omegle
Wow.
or anything in general.
yeah, I didn't even know AIM was a thing. What was AIM? Can you explain what AIM was?
AOL. Do you know AOL?
I know AOL, yeah, but
Yeah, so AIM was like the messenger service of AOL.
Okay, so it's like an instant messenger.
So it's kind of like Yahoo Messenger or Skype.
Okay.
Or like
Or like-
Facebook Messenger, but not as high tech, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like,
I remember when YouTube became a thing, where
Bro.
people just
yeah.
like, I know,
Yeah,
I
remember how
feel
old
old.
YouTube used to look? Oh my
I started watching
old.
YouTube in like 2011, to be honest, is when I started, and I got like really into a couple YouTube channels and stuff back then. I started a YouTube channel actually, in 2012, and if any of you guys find it, I'll be amazed because it's not under my Duke of Thumper name or anything like that. Somewhere on YouTube, there's a channel of 11-year-old me posting like product reviews and stuff, and there's about 50 something videos on there. Good luck finding it. And you could see me on it, like there's my face and all that. But no, I feel like with the online age, just people have to be super careful, and parents need to be like really paying attention to what their kids are talking on and stuff. Because I mean, there's just with as great as the internet is, there's a lot of ways for people to be fake or people to pretend they're not, or predators or stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I feel like there's already one thing I think is crazy is there's already like this, even though the internet's so new, there's already the nostalgia of different times in the internet. Like I feel like I grew up developed my personality mostly on Xbox Live chat on Xbox 360, and that I think is part of the reason why I might be so toxic in games and stuff. Just because if anyone here has played Xbox 360 Call of Duty or stuff like that, no games today amount to the toxicity of that game. Of those games. None.
Agreed.
None. There's nothing more toxic. And then 8-year-old me is in the chat with like a bunch of 20-year-olds playing Call of Duty, and you know, that's where I learned not good habits possibly. But yeah, it's yeah, the online age was definitely I don't know, definitely a big thing. But yeah, so I think we should start wrapping it up soon. It's been
Yeah.
a long. So one thing I want to do real quick, if you guys are okay with it, is you guys can ask some questions in the chat, and maybe we can answer things. If you guys are okay with that, Yoshi, Lele, Adrian.
Yeah, I'm
down.
fine.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Are we just
go
gonna save the next topic for some other time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could go
Okay.
for sure. There's so much to talk about with the internet and stuff. We could talk about that another time.
All right.
Yeah, so it's
I'll
not
go
a
to
big
the
deal.
chat.
All right, let's see. What's the first?
First
Alright.
game.
All right. Al has a question. Since you all play video games, which is the first game you've ever played?
Well,
Oh,
should we go very
man.
first or like first game we
No,
played a lot?
Pokemon?
I don't really remember the first game I played.
Well, I mean, I guess first game
My
you like played a
first
lot.
game.
First game you played a lot.
Like the very, very first game,
Oh.
I would say I played Mario.
My first ever game was that pinball game on the computers at school.
Really?
Oh.
For me,
You remember that?
for me, it's probably I played. I don't know if you guys knew that Mr. Game and Watch. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Mm.
I played with Mr. Game and Watch, and I played Mario 64. And Super.
Mine's probably Pokemon.
I never had like a 3DS or anything like that. Like was never big on Nintendo.
I did-
All I had was like Xbox and
I-
PS2.
I had a DS. I did Nintendo 64. Actually no. First thing I played was the old Crash Bandicoot games. That was the first thing I
Oh,
played.
yeah.
I think it was on the Sega Genesis.
oh man, one of my first ever I played that on the GameCube, like Mario Party and stuff like that were some of my first games. Mario Party and
Yeah, Mario Party 4. I remember
Super
playing a
Smash
lot.
Bros and stuff like that.
Any other questions? I'll wait like a couple seconds to see if any other questions come in, and then we could wrap it up.
Do you guys have a favorite movie?
Favorite movie.
I have two. Like I've two tied. For me, it'd be the newer Joker. I loved that movie so much.
choice.
That's a pretty sick movie.
And then Shawshank Redemption.
Well, UA has a good one. What is the one
Shawshank-
thing you could
Shawshank's
change
good.
about internet friendos?
Oh
All
yeah.
right, we'll get to that after this question.
Yeah.
Okay.
So favorite
Mine's
movies.
Limitless. I don't know if y'all understand. I think that's a
Oh, yeah.
sick movie.
It's a good one.
This is a movie.
Um, I think I'll just stick with that one. Yeah, just Limitless. I love that movie.
Okay, Lele Yoshi.
My favorite movie was Gladiator.
Oh my gosh, who's the
Gladiator.
actor in that?
I
Shoot.
don't want to take back my answer.
Who's the actor in that?
Good. Wait, what?
Who's the actor in
don't
that?
have a favorite movie.
Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe. Yeah, that's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, that's an
300 is
amazing movie.
300 is also a phenomenal movie like that.
300 is also yes.
Wait, Lele, you don't have any?
No, I don't have any.
Dang.
Okay.
All right, so what would we change about internet friend is? We can let.
What is the one thing you could change about internet friendos?
I'll put my answer out first. I think I don't know. I feel like sometimes you guys get some interesting mods. I think the mod application maybe should be a bit stricter, in my opinion. But I think it's pretty solid. But sometimes you guys do get kind of like some wacky mods here and there.
Well, you have to give people a chance, though. It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just because, you know. But
Wacky mods don't last too long.
Of course.
Yeah.
you know,
Alright.
like you.
Uh,
Okay.
Lele Yoshi.
I think we change things as we go anyway.
Yeah.
So far, I'm content with what is done right now.
You have no personal things. It could be something dumb too that just you would like. You could say anything.
Huh? Mm,
A Lily Yoshi only channel.
No.
I'm
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But,
that's called DMs.
That's
dude.
true. True.
Jeez.
You got me there.
In terms of what I would change, I wouldn't really change anything because, in general, as Lily said, we change as we go.
Yeah.
So, like, anything that I wanted to be changed has been changed already. So.
That's fair.
Or he does it behind our backs and we never know.
Yeah.
um.
I have a couple things.
Oh, no.
Wait, let me go get my tea.
No.
I need to sit down for the.
Alright,
Okay.
I
alright.
was silent for a couple other ones, but yeah, go ahead, Duke.
Alright, okay. So, I'm gonna be, like, legitimately serious. I'll start off is, I do think eventually there should be an NSFW chat. Personally.
No.
I think eventually. I was just saying what I think, what I would change.
Okay, so Duke. So if we ever do that, we'll have to start taking IDs in.
Yeah.
Because people 18 and under can still go into the chat, just say yes, they're old enough.
Yeah. Proof of ID.
Do ID.
Yeah. It's a lot of servers do that.
No,
it's like
we'll have to take. We'll literally have to kick everybody out.
No. You just take ID of the person. You can 100% do IDs. People
Yeah.
just
I
take
mean,
pictures of.
It's a good idea.
You could take pictures of a driver's license.
agree.
Tell them they could scribble out everything
Yep.
except for like the age, day, and then take a. Usually, another good thing to do also is take a picture of themselves holding
No,
the
what
disc.
I'm saying is what they would do is click on it and say they are 18 and older when they're not.
No,
But
they have to
like you
verify
wouldn't be
with us
able
first.
They have to verify, and
Yeah.
then they would get a role to go into NSF or whatever.
You get a roll. Yeah, exactly. And you can take a picture yourself holding like the date and holding
Yep.
with the
Date,
name of the server and your
username.
ID and all that.
Yeah.
And obviously, let's be honest, there are ways people could obviously get around it. They could ask a friend, something like that, yada. But
Obviously.
for the amount of people that would go through all the lengths just to go to an SFW channel in a server to lie about it and stuff, that would be very, very rare, and that would be found out eventually.
Yeah,
ever-
especially like a friend's ID. I don't know how many friends would do. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't do that.
I don't know how many friends would do that.
But
If we ever do it, one of those channels, I call not it. Okay.
that's
Okay.
fair. That's fair. That's
That
fair.
is just too much
That's
work.
too much, man. No.
And plus, that's a lot of private information that is going into one person's DMs or multiple people's DMs.
For sure. That's why you only send it to like partnership managers or the owner, and that's not a decision someone has to make.
That's still a lot of people that's going, like, you're sending your stuff to.
for sure.
You know?
For sure. So yeah, there's a level of trust, and so most people that would go into it wouldn't just be random people giving out their information anyway, which is also good. You don't have someone instantly going in, and a lot of people wouldn't instantly go in and give their information. So the next thing I would say I would change, and I feel like this is a pretty fair one, is I would make the application process for becoming a moderator a bit stricter. I would have a longer trial period, and a trial period of if you want to moderate someone, you have to ask other mods about it and give them the situation first and stuff before any task could be handled. When you're
What do you
first
what do you mean by that, though?
Okay.
So let's say that you want to, let's say someone did something wrong. You want the mod in training to go to a server patrol and tell them what's going on.
And yeah, have the server patrol check out the situation, 100%, and then
Okay, so what if it's an ear raid?
you're
And they're mod in training?
That's unfortunate. I mean, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that can happen. But
Sometimes there are situations where mod in training can't go to a moderator or to an admin. They might not be online. They might not be paying attention, and they can't leave that situation on for too long.
there should be in a server. There should be at least one mod online at all times. For the amount of mods the server has, there should at least at all times of the day be at least one mod that's online.
Normally there is. There's
yeah,
one or two on all the time.
Yeah, there's like I never.
It's just sometimes people don't answer DMs
Yeah,
very
but,
fast, or people don't answer very
They
fast
will get
at
to it
all.
though. If an ear rape happens, you can mute the person for now. Make sure you see what their ID was or whatever. Message a mod. Make sure you delete this person. They ear raped. They ban this person. It's just my personal
I think
opinion.
it's just too. I'd rather have them do the action. You know?
Yeah, I think we've had different experiences in that regard, and that's why I bring this up. Like, for example, when I came back from like during winter break, okay, compared to now, the mods over winter break in that area, there's a lot of new mods and stuff, gave out so many warns for like very little things. And I mean, there could be two sides to look at it. Maybe it was a warn that was worth whatever, but either way, a lot of brand new mods gave a ton of warns. Like most of the warns that I had on my account were from a very small group of time. And yeah, of course, a lot of that is my fault too. I'm not gonna act like it wasn't, but still, like there's always that risk. I think there's always that risk to be ran, and that's just something I would change, just making the process a little bit longer, or. But yeah.
Well, people. Okay, so when it comes to modding styles, we leave it be. So, like, the way I mod is not going to be the same way that Potato mods or Vera mods, or Emily mods. It's going to be completely different.
Yeah.
You know, what people find offensive is going to be completely different from what I find offensive.
Yeah.
So you can't, you just,
I think it's
that is a difficult one,
For
but
sure.
like at the same time, you can't, if someone gets offended, they
Yeah.
get offended,
Yeah. I mean,
you know?
yes. I
Dude, just
yeah.
stop offending people, dude. Anyway.
No. No. I mean, not all my warnings were for offending people, but there
That's fine.
there was I'm just saying there was like a lot of different there's definitely questionable things that happen, and like you said, like you and Yoshi said, people aren't mods for long. A lot of the time people are mods for like a week or barely anything, and then they don't get mod anymore because of stuff like that. And I'm saying for that week they could give out stuff like that, and so that's why I think the trial period should be lengthened is all. But that's why we have different
Wait,
personalities. For things.
We
We do have a trial period.
we do have a trial period. That's why they only last a week.
No, I know. I'm saying like lengthen that, like where the trial period they can't
Some length
No.
should be
actions,
longer.
or they can't do
No.
actions for the trial period.
Trial periods are usually longer than a week or two.
Oh, I was just saying like you can't make actual actions in the trial period yourself. You have to get someone who's already a mod. to do it.
But they need to learn
Yeah.
how.
It's
The best way to be a mod is to just get experience.
for sure. I agree. The only reason I'm saying it's still experience if you made the decision yourself and someone just verifies that that's the right thing to do.
But we can't. Okay.
It's hard. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing.
It's not a hard thing. It's one thing that to understand it though. It's
And I obviously my ideas aren't perfect and stuff, and they could be very flawed. I'm not saying they aren't. This is just my personal thing that I would change. I don't think there's any problems with what we have currently. I'm just saying that is what I would change. And I think yeah, no, I'm not saying it's what you guys have now is wrong or anything. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that's a personal thing I would change, and that's why we have like me, Lele, Adrian, Yoshi. We're all very different people, but you need diversity to make solid decisions, and that's what I think is really good. There needs to be different types of mods, different people, all of that, and I agree. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's all about, and that's the fun thing about podcasts. It's all about having a conversation, you know.
Yeah.
Disagreeing as well. I think that's a key factor in podcasts, having different opinions. You don't want to join a podcast
sure.
if everyone agrees with each other.
Yeah, I think it's really cool
Right.
that there's something like this now that we could do, like this podcast, where people could just be respectful to each other and talk about things and just put things open for discussion. I think we could. Would you guys be okay with taking like one more question and then we could wrap it up? Is that cool with everyone?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. Does anyone else have one more question?
Al has one. Is how often are we doing this hosting a podcast?
So I plan ideally 2 or 3 times a week. Would be cool. I would want to do the next one Tuesday or Wednesday. To be honest, I think it wouldn't be very hard to get like at least 2, because I know Adrian will want to do it a lot. To get at least like 2 people to join us for the podcast, and we can make them at different times. I wouldn't want to make them like always at different times. Like I would want to usually make it at this time. But like, if all you have to do is DM me, ask. I would say to get on the podcast, you need to be someone who's like active on the server, for sure. And has been here for a while. Like at least I would.
They can vote.
Yeah.
They could have multiple people. They could go to you or any of us and say, hey, we would like to see this person, you know, do a podcast and ask questions. And you can and they can vote.
Yeah,
so
that's a great
I can
idea.
make an announcement
That's a great idea,
where they'd be like, oh, pick either these 3 people or 4 people.
Yeah.
Pick 2 of them that you want to see the most in a podcast.
Yeah. Or and then I could also, like, if I'm getting a lot of DMs about one person, I'll go to that person myself and ask. But if you want to be in it yourself, a really easy way, just come to me. Come with like maybe 1 or 2 topics you think you would bring a lot to the table on and be able to talk about. Like here we talked about what it takes to host a server, and we talked about rules and stuff because we have a partnership manager and an owner of this server. So there was a lot to talk about there. We have people who live in California. We talked about things that are relevant. Just DM me if you want to be on it, and we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen as long. I think Yoshi agrees with this too. Like a limit of like level 10 should be the minimum for being on it. What do you think?
I kind of agree. I don't think there should be like a level 5 that just joins the podcast, it would be kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little 10 and up sounds good.
Yeah.
Make it appropriate questions.
Of course,
you know?
of course. Similar to what we did now. Like, you can cuss to a certain extent. You can speak how you want, but...
Do you think people should toss in some ideas to talk about?
Yeah, for sure. You can DM me. I think just, like, if you have any ideas and you don't want to be on the podcast yourself, DM me or any one of us. Like, seriously. Like, I'm always going to be open to someone DMing me about ideas to add it, because, shit, I will run out of ideas.
So
Yeah, it can
just
be literally anything.
DM Duke about questions that you want, or any topics that you want to be talked about,
Yeah.
and then if like what is it? If you want somebody to be in a podcast too,
Yeah.
to talk about something.
So there we go. So thank.
And
Hmm?
I was gonna say, Traplines is also. Do you want to give out the YouTube now? Because he's like asking about like recording.
Yeah, so I was about to wrap it up. So so thank you guys for joining us on the first ever Partially Engaged podcast. So I recorded this. I'm gonna do a little bit of editing, but I'll keep like everything we talked about, and it's gonna be the same length. I'm just gonna edit like the visual a little bit, but it's gonna be uploaded to a YouTube channel that I will ask like Lele to put in an announcement after this, like saying you could check it out at this YouTube channel or whatever. And it's just gonna be a YouTube channel for these podcasts, and I'll post every one of them to that channel, with like the name of the podcast, the date, and the guests that were in it. I'd like to thank Adrian, Lele, and Yoshi for being on it, and taking their own time to provide to this. I really appreciate it, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for having
So you guys were great, honestly. It was the first time, so it's not gonna flow. But I think we easily hit an hour and 15 minutes, which is really cool. I'm actually really.
Our 18 minutes. It's gonna be our 20 minutes.
You really just had to do that. Okay, ruined the podcast.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Alright.
I did.
So I wish you guys a great rest of your day, and thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time. I'll make sure to message Lele or Yoshi about when the next one could be held, and there'll be an announcement about it. All right. Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
See you.
Okay. Bye bye, everyone.
See ya.